So the trade credit means trade credit is the credit extended by one trader to another. So that is one trader. This is important. One trader to another. Another mean another trader for the purchase of goods and service. For the purchase of goods and service, this type of credit, this type of finance you can avail. Now what happens? Suppose there is a customer. He want to purchase raw material. He want to purchase raw material from supplier. Okay. Now this person is supplier. Now when you purchasing the goods, means he supply the raw material to the customer. Now when you are purchasing the goods, purchasing the raw material, the supplier sell the goods to the purchaser or customer. Now when you are purchasing the goods, the customer has no money, still he is actually purchasing the goods. So he is taking some credit from supplier and supplier giving the credit to the customer. That's how we are saying one trader to another. Credit, trade credit is the credit extended by one trader to another for the purchase of goods or services. Now why? Suppose what happened actually, now in your childhood, maybe you just go and shop and buy some chocolate, but at that time you have no money. What you actually said then? You said that you just collect from my father. Okay, and this shopkeeper know that your father is a very financial position is good, so after 7 days your father will come. He is now out of town and he actually paid. So here also the supplier know that the financial position of customer is good. Okay, that's how he is actually giving credit for 2 or 3 months. That is not for 5 years. It is called short term credit, short term sources of finance. So actually in books we know as the supplier as a creditor. When we purchase the goods from supplier as credit, they know as a creditor. So this supplier is known as a creditor. Okay, in our books we write down in current liabilities as a sundry creditors. Okay, so they actually gives our this type of credit they gives, the supplier gives actually for 3 or 4 months. After 3 or 4 months you have to pay it back, you have to repay, okay, the goods. And in the meantime the customer, what actually he does that he actually purchasing the raw material, he processing the goods, and after that he sell the goods, and after selling the goods he collects the money, and from this money they actually paid the supplier. And that process is for 3 months. That's how he actually taking the credit for the 3 months or 2 months period. This is not for 2 years, this is not for 5 years. This type of trade credit is used for short term finance. So this is one of the sources of short term finance of the business. So this is the main. Trade credit is nothing but you are purchasing the goods or services in credit is called as a, in our business as a trade credit. This is simple and very. So have you understood the thing? What is trade credit actually? What is trade credit? Have you understood? Who is there actually? Who is there? Just write your name. Sneha Srivastava, yes sir, okay, very good. Sneha Srivastava is there. And there is any other, there is 2. What is Debargo? Debargo is not here. And Kritika is not there, okay. So, so trade credits appear in the records of buyer as a goods as sundry creditors or accounts payable in our books. Okay. The volume and period of credit extended depends on factors such as reputation of purchasing firm. If purchasing firm reputation is good, then only he actually gets the trade credit. If their reputation is bad, in the in your practical life also, if you purchase some goods from your nearby location and on credit, and you said that the shopkeeper just write the amount in your book, I will pay 2 or 3 days, after 2 or 3 days, because now as of now I have no money. Now after 2 or 3 days you do not pay the amount, then again you go to the shopkeeper, this shop, and shopkeeper, you again ask for the credit, then shopkeeper will give you the credit? The answer is no. So your reputation should be good, otherwise nobody will give you the credit. Okay. So financial position of the seller, even financial position of the seller, suppose you have two friends, you are the rich and your friend is poor, but you get, whenever you go to the shop and you ask the uncle that, uncle, I have no money now, just give me the 5 Cadbury chocolates. Now he will not hesitate, because he knows that your financial position is good. But when your friend asks the same thing, then shopkeeper will not willing to give her. Why? Because your friend financial position is not good as of you. So financial position of the company or firm or organization, in case of organization also, their financial position should be good, or otherwise the supplier will not give the credit to this particular organization or customer. Okay. So for trade credit, if you need trade credit, you should have a good financial position of your business. Now volume of purchases. Now you just purchase one time and you are asking for credit, that's actually not, nobody will give you the credit. If the person, there is some transaction already happened with the supplier, then supplier know that this person is actually taking lots of purchase from our firm, then only he actually willing to give the credit, because he knows that he will future also he will purchase the goods in bulk. Okay. So one time purchase is not actually acceptable for credit. If there is no relationship actually made by this supplier and consumer, then nobody willing to give the credit. Because if you suppose there, you know, in your locality, if there is any shop and one flying customer is come and said that give me the 2 chocolate in credit, then shopkeeper may not, or definitely not give the credit to that person, because he do not know this person. So this is very common sense, that only who had very good reputation, whose financial position is good, from where he know he will get the money back, only then he actually give the credit to that person. So, and that is why they are saying volume of purchase, past record of payment, and degree of competition in the market. Sometimes in the competition also, for the competition, now I was actually job in a biscuit manufacturing company. Okay. So there what happened, that dealer and the customer, actually the retail shop, the dealer when comes to us, they are saying that give us the credit, otherwise we cannot sell this biscuit in the market. Why? Because the other companies, other biscuit company gives the credit to the shopkeeper. So where from he will actually, the customer, the shopkeeper, actually retailer takes the credit, or chance to opportunity is there from credit purchase. From there they actually try to purchase, though the quality of biscuit is not good. So up to competition, for the competition of the market, sometime you have to give credit to the customer also. So now we will discuss what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of this trade credit, because each and everything, whatever this, it has some merit and some negative thing also, and that is called demerits. Now we will discuss about what are the different advantages of trade credit. That is means merits of trade credit. First is very convenient. Very convenient. This type of credit is very convenient. Why this is very convenient? So, trade credit is a convenient and continuous source of fund, because you do not need any type of compliance to take this type of credit. You just purchase in credit, and for your reputation, for your financial position, the supplier is give you the credit. So, there is no unlike equity share, there are lots of legal procedure you have to do to raise the money, but here there is nothing you require, no single paper is required in when your trade credit is taking from some person. Okay, actually this is taking from the supplier only, who is supplying the goods or services to you. Now, second is readily available. Readily available. Okay. Number 2 is readily available. So, this is very readily available. Why it may be readily available? In case the credit worthiness of the customer is known to the seller. So, if you are very much, your financial position is good, so in short time, though you are taking the credit, the supplier knows that you have capability to pay it us in near future. Okay, so that is called credit worthiness. So, there is nothing you have to need, just you need your credit worthiness, means your financial position of the company or organization is good, and basis of that this type of credit you can get from the supplier. So, that is called readily available. Now, increase inventory level. Number 3 is increase inventory level. Why it is increase the inventory level? As you are getting the goods from credit, so you will purchase in bulk and your inventory will be very good. Your raw material, if you purchase raw material in credit, so there is no need to pay cash immediate basis, so you have purchased more, and that will increase your stock. Okay, so your stock also increase, so that you can, whenever there is a demand of sale, you can use this stock for production. That's why this is called increase inventory level also. No charge on asset. Number 4 advantage is no charge on asset. Now, what is charge of assets? Suppose you want to take loan for your, suppose you want to purchase a flat. So, flat purchase, you have not enough money to you, there the flat price is 25 lakh and you have just 10 lakh you in your bank. So, at the time, what you will do, you will take the loan from the bank, and whenever you like to take loan from the bank, you have to mortgage something in the bank. Suppose you have an old house, this house should be mortgages to the bank. Okay, so this is called charge on asset. So, your assets should be mortgaged, or your jewelry should be mortgaged. Okay, so that is called charge on asset. But in case of trade credit, you have nothing to mortgage to the supplier. There is no mortgage concept in case of trade credit. You can easily available this credit from the supplier. So, that's why it is called no charge on assets. Now, number 5 is promote sales. Why it is promote sales? Because though you have no money, you can purchase the raw material, so you can make the production also. Okay, and as the demand in the market, you can sell also. But if the trade credit is not given by the supplier, then what happen? You cannot purchase the raw material, as you have no money as of now. Okay, so you have a money, then there is no problem. But you have no money, still you are getting the chance to purchase the raw material from the seller because of your financial position is good and your reputation is good. So can your production process will not be hampered, and as production process is not hampered, so your finished goods, making of finished goods, what you actually like to sell will not be hampered and you can sell easily. That is called promotes of sale. Trade credit needs to promote sales of an organization. Okay, so there is no hampering of production. As production will not hamper, your sales also not be hampered. As per demand, you can sell the goods as needed by the customer. Okay, so these are the main advantages of the trade credit, and there is certain disadvantages also. What is the certain disadvantages? Now we will discuss about the disadvantages. That is demerits. Now what are the disadvantages? Demerits. Over trading. One of the disadvantages is over trading. Okay. Number one is over trading. Over trading. What is over trading means? Availability of easy and flexible trade credit facilities. Availability of easy and flexible trade credit. Now Kritika Mondal is there. Sometime you are left and sometime you are joining. What is your problem? If you not hear the total thing, you cannot understand what is going on. So just join the class in fast, that is 2:30 sharp. Okay. Otherwise you cannot understand the thing. There is a network problem. Okay. So what trading actually means is, whenever you are getting the chance, okay, suppose take an example. Suppose you have always in your pocket generally 100 and 200 rupees, okay, in your hand money, that is in your pocket money is 100 and 200 generally there, and from there you suppose purchase some beauty products, or you just purchase some chocolates or other things in between 100 and 200 rupees. But one day what happened, somebody come to your house, that is one of your relative, and she or he gives you the money of 5,000 rupees to you. Then whenever you get this 5,000 rupees, then there is your pocket money is now 5,200 rupees, so you get more money. Now you are thinking whatever you are actually purchased, now your purchasing power is more, so you will purchase what you do not need also. Some of the product you do not need, still you are purchasing. So this is called over trading. In case of business also, whenever the business get chance to purchase some goods in credit, sometimes they are purchased more as it is not needed for them and their stock level is very high. They are purchasing the raw material so much that these are not needed for them, and this actually make loss for them because this stock will not use for their production also. Okay, so inventory level is very high. So this is called over trading. Okay, so you have to always actually the business is always should be careful that there is no over trading is happening in case of trade credit. Now limited funds. Number 2 is limited funds. What is limited funds? Only limited amount of funds can be generated through trade credit. Now trade credit only when you actually take this type of credit, when you are purchasing the goods, but not purchasing the only thing of your business. Okay, There you have to, the only goods purchase is not enough for your business. Whenever you need to purchase some fixed asset, that is plant and machinery, building, or motor car, computer you need it for your office. So this for trade credit is not available. That's why they are saying that is limited funds. Only for purchase of raw material of goods you can use this fund as a trade credit. So whenever you need to purchase some fixed asset, so you have to take loan from the bank, because this is a large amount. This amount not very large. Suppose you are purchasing 10 lakhs of goods. So that for trade credit is applicable. But whenever you are purchasing a machine that is 10 crore, now this person not willing to give you the 10 crore credit. Okay. So this is for purchase of goods, not purchase of machinery. So if you want to purchase some fixed asset, then you need more fund, and that is not actually for trade credit will not make this happen. Okay. So this source is actually used for short term finance, not long term, because you know fixed asset actually used in our business for long term purpose. Whenever you purchase a building, so you cannot purchase this building for sale for next year, because your business not of the purchasing and selling of business building. Your business is manufacturing of biscuits. So for that you have to purchase raw material, that is maximum 10 to 20 lakh for per transaction. Okay. But whenever you need to purchase some building or you shall purchase some machinery, that may be 10 crore. A machinery can value should be 10 crore. That time nobody will give you the 10 crore credit without any paper, without any asset mortgage. Okay. So trade credit is generally used for the short term finance of the business, that is for current liabilities. Now costly source. Why it is costly? Why it is costly source? Costly source of finance. It is not as costly as equity share, raising of equity share, as raising of preference share. There you need actually lots of legal procedure you have to do. You have to do some of the compliances you have to follow, and that for there is lots of people is needed. The broker is needed who actually promotes the share of your company. So that time this is not, it is not so costly, but this is costly source of finance also. This is also a costly source of finance, because as you are taking 3 months credit, but if you not paying within 3 months, then you will not receive the credit again. So your working capital loan, that is called cascaded loan, you have to take, and this loan has certain interest percentage. Okay. So that is called working capital loan, and for your day to day business needs, that is payment of salary, payment to the supplier, you need this type of loans. We'll discuss it later. And that's time also for trade credit, you are getting the credit from this person, means that it is not means that you will not pay this person, because after 3 months you have to pay it. Okay, but that time also your sale is not so good. So what you will do, you will take the loan and pay to this person, and that's for this interest rate is very high in case of cascaded loan, for that is called working capital loan. So that time this fund is also very costly source of finance as of now. But this interest is not comparable. Actually, you cannot compare with the equity share or preference share, because they are more costly, because there are lots of legal procedure compliance you have to follow. But in case of taking a working capital loan, that is also a short term finance for the business. Nowadays modern business, most of the business organizations take the cascaded loan for their day to day operational for expenses. So this is for, and if you have no, your sales is not as per whatever you think, then for your reputation you have to take this loan, and from this loan you have to pay this supplier, wherefrom you take the trade credit. Okay. So that's why they are saying this is a costly source of finance. So these are the some of the disadvantages or demerits of trade credits. So have you understood up to that? Is there any problem? Is there any problem? Sneha is there. Sneha, have you understood? No, no problem. Okay. So this is the end of the class. So next day we will discuss about another source of financing, that is lease fund financing, public deposit, all we will discuss. Okay. So just continue the class, and again we will meet for accounting class. Your accountancy class we will again meet it. So thank you for watching. Thank you.